Here is my National NC-300 that I put a new filter capacitor in. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other capacitors because I have them on hand. I bought a whole bunch one time from Bob's Antique Radio and Electronics. They come in little bags like this and packages of 20. I did find a cabinet that had never been used, so I decided to move them to a cabinet. Looks like that. I have all of them that I need except two capacitors. I'm going to go ahead and send away for those. In the meantime, I'm going to start replacing them. And here's the underside. I meant to turn it over the other way so that this part's at the top, but I'll do that after I turn this off. So most of the capacitors are down here and over here. And I have a printout from the web. I highlighted where they all go and made notes. I do have a replacement for this 25 microfarad electrolytic. Got it right here. I'll put that in there. That mysteriously is not in the Hayseed Hamfest printout. It's not in the schematic. It's not in the parts list. But I have one that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead. What I do is I will cut these close to the capacitor so that the leads are there, and I'm just going to use the old leads with the new capacitor. So I'll get working on that. Well, it's a little while later, and I've replaced 12 out of 17 capacitors. Here are the ones I took out. And this one up above is that electrolytic that was a bit of a mystery. And here is the electrolytic replaced in there. Two of the 5 that I have not replaced yet, I don't have. I would have to order them. This 0.22 and this 0.47. The other 3 are behind the front panel. I do have those, but I have to get the front panel off. I'm not sure if I know how to get it off. There's 3 of the screws I can get to on one side, and the other 3 are hidden behind this trim panel. So I'm not quite sure about that. The radio is deaf right now. It can barely hear the crystal calibrator. So I'm going to do a practice alignment on it. Make sure that it comes back to life before I order the other 2 capacitors. And here are examples of the ones I changed. There's 2 there. Here, 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 here. Down here there's a few more. So there's a lot of room to work in there, but it was still a tough job. So making progress. I'm going to do set it up to do an alignment and see how that goes. And if that goes well, I will order the other capacitors and try to get the front panel off. Okay, I want to wrap things up. Some time has gone by. I've changed all the capacitors I'm going to change. The only 2 I didn't change are this one here and this one here, and they test fine. They're great. And there's also 2 behind the tone switch up here that I can't reach. I did figure out how to get this panel off, but there's some screws across the top that I couldn't deal with. And there was one other one I couldn't reach around the other side. So then I did an alignment on it, and the alignment came out great. Plays great. I was going to try to make a video of it, but I didn't. I was going to call it my practice alignment and then do another one, but it came out good. I mentioned that I bought some case screws at the hardware store, but the hardware store was Fastenal. And in case anybody's interested, I have a National NC-300 here, and I was able to take some of those screws out and take them to Fastenal and match them up. So the bottom takes 4 of these number 8 by 3/8 slotted hex heads and number 8 lock washers with the external teeth. There is one oddball one on the bottom. This is from the NC-300. I thought I found one laying around here in my junk drawer to match it up, but I think I lost it. I think that one goes here. So, but the other ones go here and here. Then on the back, over here, are 6 of number 6 by quarter. Same thing. They're like a sheet metal screw, slotted. Oh, these aren't slotted. Okay, they're not slotted, but that's the best I could find. They're hex head and number 6 lock washers. I do want to show you, besides that electrolytic capacitor, I found one other thing that I wasn't expecting when I did the alignment. So the other thing I found that I was not expecting when I did the alignment was this crystal. See if I can light it up. It was blocking a point where I had to put on one of the probes to do something in the alignment, and I couldn't get to it because that crystal was blocking it. And eventually traced it out in the schematic, and I was able to go to one of these two up here, I believe, and finish the alignment. But that's not in the schematic. And another interesting thing is that this is now an empty cavity. This I think there was an adjustment coil in there originally, and there's nothing in there now. So this must have something to do with it. But like I said, I was able to go on here to make the contact for the alignment and work my way around it and get everything tuned up just right. But thought I'd point that out in case anybody else comes across this, be kind of interested. I didn't get to show you the new CAN capacitor in its new home. There it is. That's where it sits on the radio. And let me get my pointer. This capacitor here is one I didn't change, and 2 down here behind the tone switch I didn't change, but I don't think it's going to affect anything, to tell you the truth. So let's put it in its cabinet and do an on-the-air test.
A little bit, 5-year extended 4-hour service warranty. I don't know what else it had. I gave him an external 27-inch external monitor, plugs into it. Oh yeah, the whole bit. Oh. Yeah, it's nice. Nice. Maybe even a 9.9 processor. Might have been a 9.
Okay, we're just listening to a little QSO on 160 meters. Just checking this thing out on the bands. It's receiving great on all the bands. It's nighttime, so I didn't hear anything on 10 or 11 meters. But this weekend, there's the CQ Worldwide WPX contest. And I'll check it out during that. Right now, I'll go through a few bands while things are a little quiet. I'll show you how to set this up for sideband. And then later I'll show you for AM. Starting on the left here, it works well if the IF is at 2. The CW oscillator is at 1. You see there's a 1 there and a 2 there. And that stays at 1 pretty much through all the bands for sideband. The antenna trimmer you tune for maximum noise. Over here on the select button, number 1 is good. Unless it's crowded, then you might want to do 2. Phasing, you'll notice that's where it normally should be. I find that the reception is really good right there. Now, the one odd thing we're going to do here is the RF gain is going to be all the way down, and you're going to take the AF gain and you're going to turn it up till you hear a click. And then you adjust your volume with the RF gain. And reception is much clearer. There's a lot less background noise, and that works well. That works well for CW and sideband. Not AM. AM, you want to set set the IF at 1, set this selected 0, put the phasing straight up and down, RF gain all the way up, and then use the AF gain for volume. This you would put in the middle, and again you set your antenna for maximum noise, your antenna gain switch. So I'm going to try a different band now.
I do sweat Pepe.
Ah, moi, quand j'ai commencé à faire du Charlie Bravo avant de passer ma licence, j'étais à mon nom de QTH, là. Tu sais, je veux dire, moi, j'avais lâché le CB quand je suis parti de la TUC, j'étais très jeune.
I'm going to show you what happens when you turn the phasing.
Mais là, quand on recommençait à en faire en 2010, pas 2010, 2017, que j'ai recommencé à en faire, je m'a dit, ben quoi,
So it seems worse right in the middle, but
n'importe quoi dans des radios.
on these ends it seems really
Je
good.
connaissais pas la chef, mais je m'étais acheté, j'avais un institut de grosse base avec un Silver Eagle.
That guy's pretty loud.
The
The thing just turned off when I tried to turn it down.
J'envoyais 250.
I can turn the selector over. Oh, he was on 2. That's 1. And that's off. It just fades away. So 1 works well for that. 1 sounds good on that. 1 or 2 sounds good on that, on the IF.
J'ai découvert la chef. Puis là, ben, ça avait réglé pas mal de mes problèmes.
I'll just tune around real quick.
Maybe next week sometime. N1LHC, K1FFL, 17. Yeah, you're right. 20 overdone, right?
That's an AM station.
Maybe later.
There we go.
All right, they good to hear everybody. You too.
I should have left that on too. I was having trouble there. Try 40 meters.
Here at our station, we had put a new radio in line, and that made it all complex. Just trying to get everything ready to be able to get back on the air. So, well, greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much, my friend.
Let's try CW. Switch to CW. Go down to CW. Narrow this up a little. Try the phasing in the middle, see what that does. An oscillator in the middle. Well, that's a little on the air test.
Pick me up here because the skip's too long, and it seems to go long right after right around 9 o'clock or just before 9 o'clock. The skip goes real long. I don't hear. I heard you talking to David, N8YHP, and all those other guys. I couldn't hear anybody. I could not hear anybody tonight. So. And that's just generally the way it is, it's not, it's just the way the band is. Sometimes it hangs in there a little longer some nights than others.
That's a QSO on AM at 7295. So the way I have it set up is, as I said before, the IF is at 1, the antenna is tuned for maximum sound, CW oscillators in the middle, AF gain is low, the RF gain is high, the phasing's in the middle, and the select is off. And we're in AM.
So back to you, Joe, N4RXV from N3TBW.
Okay, good deal. Good deal indeed. I'm glad
There are a couple of shortwave broadcast stations right above this guy.
Sala de internet, por mais longe que seja, nunca será a mesma coisa. Essa transmissão é a verdadeira tradição, a transmissão concreta do idoso ao jovem.
That's 7305, and there's one at 7325, which will go off the scale.
As novas gerações.
Slovakia and Hungary. The platform is instrumental to expanding dialogue and cooperation between regional allies, with a view to contributing to the ongoing NATO processes in full compliance.
So that's it on AM. Now 20 words per minute. This is W1AW code practice on 80 meters on 3.5815. This started at 7 p.m. I'm not sure what time it is now, but it just slowed down to 20 words per minute. The sun just went down here, and I'm in Vermont. Very stable, no drifting. This thing works great.
Okay, thank you very much. 73 QRZ, Kilo Tango 5 Japan. WA3 Yankee Delta Zulu 591704. Thank you. QRZ, Kilo Tango 5 Japan. Kilo Yankee Radio 591705. Yankee Radio. Papa Alpha 7 Kilo Yankee 591705. 1705. Okay, thanks very much for 10773. QRZ, Kilo Tango 5 Japan, Kilo Tokyo 5 Japan. On AC, thanks. Should be Japan, November Alpha 8 Victoria 592040. Thanks, 358. Good luck. QRZ, Sugar Japan, 2 Whiskey. Norway 1 again. Norway 1, Delta India Delta 592041. Good luck. QRZ, Sugar Japan, 2 Whiskey. Sierra Delta contact. Okay, Kilo Charlie 0, Delta Alpha Sierra, 59236. Roger for number 1, 73, good contact. Whiskey Papa 4, Sierra Delta. Thank you, contact. Whiskey Papa 4.
Whiskey November 2. Whiskey November 2, India Hotel Juliet, you're 59237. Thank you for number 173. It's Whiskey Papa 4, Sierra Delta.